everybody? This G.
And I'm T.
And welcome back, man. Sorry for the delay, but, we had to update our equipment. So, I know it's been a while, but it feels good to be back.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
So today, I feel like we're going to talk about NFL since it's playoff time. Super Bowl right around the corner.
Bowl!
So, let's get right into it, man. Who's your pick, man? Who's your pick in the Super Bowl?
I got to go with the script, man. I got to go Taylor Swift.
Man, you got to go to Chiefs?
I got to go Taylor Swift, man.
Besides the script stuff, you can't never count against Mahomes.
You can't, man.
I just can't have Mahomes losing. Even though on paper, 49ers is the better team.
Way better team.
But they haven't looked like the better team.
Mahomes, man, he if he keeps playing like this, he might be the
Most of the teams to me haven't impressed me up to this point. But I feel like Mahomes is just Mahomes, man. He's been here before.
He's performed every time.
And I just feel like the 49ers have let other teams lose rather than winning. I feel like other teams just lost against them by shooting themselves in the foot because the Lions didn't take the points off the field goals. And, the team before that, who they played before that? Yeah, I just feel like the Lions didn't kick those field goals and just left points off the board. So it's just like the 49ers didn't look too hot that game. Purdy had a whole bunch of bad throws. That one throw he threw should have been interception and bounced off dude's face mask. And Ayuk caught the ball. It's just like stuff happening, the ball rolling their way. It's just like the Chiefs have been here before, and the 49ers haven't been here in a while, since Garoppolo that one time. But I just feel like Mahomes and them, Kelsey, he done turned it on at the right time. And even though the Ravens gave them the game because they didn't run the ball, I just feel like the Chiefs, I can't go against Mahomes. Every time I bet against them, I lose the bet.
You lose the bet.
So this time I got to bet with him.
Got to bet with him. Kelsey, he be looking unguardable right now.
The whole season when he was having a down season, and it's just something about the playoffs, man.
They just turn it on in the playoffs.
Against the Ravens, they started off 11-11, Kelsey and Mahomes. I'm just like, where was this at during the season?
Because they know that it don't matter. They come out in the playoffs.
I guess they as long as we make it, we don't care how we make it. As long as we make the playoffs, we got a chance.
And they gonna perform.
I wanted that Detroit Ravens.
I wanted that Detroit Baltimore, man.
They was gonna be turning up.
Man, they was gonna be turning up in that stadium.
Man,
they didn't want that though. They didn't want that.
Taylor Swift bringing in the fans. So,
bringing in that money.
Roger said she's expanding the NFL, so
You know what that means.
They had to give it to the Chiefs, but we ain't even gonna talk about scripts, man.
We ain't gonna talk. That's another topic for another day.
That's another topic, man. So Mahomes is just like Curry. I can't count against him, so I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs too.
Okay.
I got the Chiefs for sure.
So how'd you feel about these playoffs this year?
Hey, there was some good football. There was some good football going on.
The Texans, you think they got a bright future?
They got a bright future.
Nobody thought they was going to make the playoffs.
Nobody thought, hey.
I did. I said I thought they was going to be a dark horse for the playoffs because they got a whole bunch of young guns.
Okay. Now, I didn't know the young guns was going to come out the gate like that. I didn't know they was going to be playmakers.
CJ Stroud played better than I thought he was going to play.
He did, but then he also had some playmakers. Nico stepped up. Collins had a good season.
Winning football changed you. Because, some of these players was players from last year. And, when you got a good quarterback and teams winning, it just changes the atmosphere, man. It makes your guys more hungry. They seemed like they wanted to win. They wanted to stop being the laughing stock, and they wanted to go out here and win. But they just went against that Ravens team.
That was the best team in
football. Number one defense in the league, so...
It was the best team in football. Should have made it to Super Bowl. It was the best team in football.
I just can't believe. That defense did their job against the Chiefs, man. Chiefs didn't score the whole second half. The offense let them down, man. How you run the ball 11 times the whole game? You the number one rushing team.
We can have a whole episode on that, man. That's a whole nother topic.
I just don't understand. They let the Chiefs get into their head, man. John said they had to play, they couldn't run the ball. They had to throw the ball because that's what the type of game it was. But you got to do what you good at, man. You got to do what got you there. You can't have one of the best running quarterbacks and don't let him run. It just don't work like that. Mm-hmm. So next time, they just need to stick to what they know how to do and not try to have a shootout with the Chiefs, man. That's what the Chiefs want.
They want you to try to have a shootout. They go winning that every time.
The Chiefs' defense is a top 5 defense this year, so you're not going to have too many chances against them to score.
And they turned it around.
They did. this is the first time the Mahomes have had a good defense.
They were cooked.
And that's why I feel like they're gonna win again because he's never had a good defense and they still was winning. So now that he got a good defense, he don't even have to score that much because other teams just can't score against him. So it's just like
it's good football.
Andy Reid had a hell of a run, man.
Hell of a run. I mean, hey, Mahomes is definitely going for a hell of a run. I think he might be one of the best QBs.
I think it might be Belichick and Brady all over again.
I think it is, too. That's what I think, too. He's the new age Brady.
I think that's the new dynasty. NFL need a new dynasty now that Brady gone. So, Mahomes is he the new kid on the block, man.
He is, bro. He is.
They already comparing him to Brady, so,
I mean, in his first 6 starts, he's putting up some good numbers.
He already got 2 Super Bowls, so. And the only person to knock him out of the Super Bowl was Tom Brady.
Yep. Sure, but, hey, this playoffs was good football, though, man. But Miami, y'all let me down, man.
Miami, they had to play in the cold, man. They can't play in the cold.
The Miami boys can't play in the cold.
I knew they wasn't going to look good. They can't play in the cold, man.
They should have been ready for that, though.
They can't play in that cold.
Those boys is ready for that, man. They not ready for that.
They not ready for it. Plus, it was negative degrees, so it was even worse.
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua, I love Tua, but it's just like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. You're not going to get better than Tua.
The playoffs, man, just makes you look at people different, man, because Tua didn't do nothing. But, they're going to have to get home field advantage, man. That's the only thing I can think of. If they won't play on their home turf in that good weather, they're going to have to get home field advantage, man. They're going to have to come out and just keep winning good games.
Nah, they can't win in that cold.
They couldn't win that cold. They look uncomfortable. It didn't look good, man. They looked like they was uncomfortable. They didn't look like they couldn't really do the explosive stuff because they couldn't really get the ball down the field. I don't know if Tua's hands was hard or what it was. They just didn't. They looked uncomfortable.
I guess that Miami, you just get so accustomed to that heat.
That Miami weather, man.
Ain't nothing you can do.
What about them Cowboys? Once again,
same story,
same cycle.
They was like, Dak's having an MVP season. It doesn't matter when the bright lights come out. We talk about it every time. Dak's not the one.
The Cowboys gonna be the Cowboys.
Yep.
Every year we'd be like, man, they got a good team, man. CD looking good, Dak looking good, defense looking good, and the playoffs every time,
Dak
man.
gonna lose you those games.
The Packers though.
Jordan Love surprised me.
Hey, the Packers look good.
They look good. I think the Packers got something with Jordan Love, man. I think
the Packers, they might do the thing next year.
I saw Jordan Love go out there. He played with a lot of confidence. He came out there. His confidence looked way more than it was.
And they had I think their team was like one of the youngest teams in the NFL. So they got young players. They got room to build and mature. And Jordan Love, he came out there slinging that thing. He looked better than I thought he was gonna look. I think he had like 40 touchdowns, over 40 touchdowns. He looked alright. I think they got their next franchise quarterback.
That's what I think. I think he came out there. He proves a lot of haters wrong. A lot of Packers fans didn't like Jordan Love.
Nah, they came out there and blew them Cowboys out though. It was bad.
That was a bad look for Dak and them.
Hey.
That was a terrible look.
They couldn't get nothing going, man. On paper, it looked like Dak had a good game, but that was in garbage time. When it mattered, he was throwing interceptions. He was looking like normal Dak. He looked like he was panicking back there. They was getting to him with the pressure, and he was making bad throws like always.
Under pressure, man.
Dak can't perform under pressure, man. Some quarterbacks can, and some quarterbacks can't, and Dak just one of them that can. I've never seen Dak perform under pressure when it comes playoff time. The regular season don't matter when it's playoff time. You can win an MVP, but just how they going to say Lamar's MVP doesn't mean anything because he didn't do nothing in the playoffs. Same thing for Dak. Don't nothing mean anything until you win in the playoffs. So,
gotta perform in the
Cowboy
playoffs.
fans, maybe next year, man.
Maybe next year.
Like y'all always say, maybe next year.
How about them Eagles?
Hey. I think that's one of the worst meltdowns I done
they melted all the way to the floor.
I ain't ever seen nothing like that. A team that was so good in the season with like 5 straight losses.
Hurts just looked lost out there, man.
6 if we gonna count the playoffs. It's just
bad. What happened?
They were saying Hurts was butting heads with the coordinator, and it's just like a whole bunch of egos and stuff, man. Hurts got that fat contract, man. You know, once that money get involved, man, egos start getting big.
Yup.
You know,
play starts getting affected.
Players start feeling like can't nobody tell them nothing. So they were saying Hurts wasn't seeing eye to eye with the coaches and stuff. So
Hurts was looking lost out there, though.
Well, they were saying the offensive coordinator wasn't calling plays. They said Hurts was changing the plays that the offensive coordinator was calling. So they was like not on the same page. So I hope they get that straightened out. Because we know Hurts can be a good quarterback, man.
We've seen it, man.
He was in the MVP running at the beginning of the season. But then, toward the end, they just looked. You could tell when they started butting heads and fighting and locker room started getting bad because they started playing terrible. They were looking terrible. What about the defense, though? They had all these OG names. Nobody was doing nothing. They were getting
decimated. They were getting decimated.
Bradbury, he needs to be cut
off the team.
He's sorry. Slay.
Slay, where'd he go?
Slay. He was locking people up, and then all of a sudden he wasn't locking people up no more.
He was getting burnt out there.
They got all these Georgia Bulldog studs on the defensive line. Nobody getting no pressure. Linebackers, they got all these Georgia Bulldog linebackers. Nobody getting pressure. Maybe they need to stop picking Georgia Bulldogs because these dudes ain't getting no type of pressure. Nobody's tackling. Their defense looked terrible. It was bad. It was looking real bad. I was watching the game like nobody wants to tackle. They looked like they was a team that was going against each other. So they need to get that straightened out. A.J. Brown was being the diva. It just everything fell apart.
Everything did fall apart pretty quick, too. It was pretty quick.
And I feel like they need to get back to running the ball. They used to be a team that ran. Hurts would do his reads. They would run the ball more. Now they trying to make Hurts a passer first.
Pocket passer.
That's not his game. You got to stop trying to change the quarterbacks. If he's going to be a dual threat, you have to let him run the ball. He has to protect himself. You just have to trust that he's going to protect himself. I think coaches get too much in their head and tell quarterback, hey, dial it back. I don't want you to get hurt. But you just got to let him take off, and he's going to have to slide or something. Because, Lamar, he got better at sliding and you're not taking big hits. So, they need to let Hurts get back to just running, man. Let Swift run the ball.
That's what y'all signed him for.
Just run the ball.
You signed him to not use him.
Hurts is not a drop back quarterback every single play. You can't just make him drop back all game. You're taking away his legs. That's one of his weapons. So you can't. They got to get back to him doing play action, maybe a couple boots here and there, and just running. Let him scramble. How you feeling?
I feel like, I don't know. You try to change the QB's game and you see it. You can't just let him. He's not a pocket passer. He never was.
The Eagles was my pick, man.
They just fell to the freaking ground.
When they started the season out, only losing one game all the way up until 10 wins.
They were all playing good. AJ,
then
Devontae.
I guess they started butting heads. So
that's what happens.
It was over after that.
Yeah, the whole team fell apart.
So how you feeling about the Lions though? You feel like their future's bright?
Is Jared Goff? Is he gonna take it home?
Is Jared Goff the answer for the Lions? You feel
he been solid. I can't even hate on Goff.
He was good for the Rams.
He wasn't even bad.
Do you feel like?
I think Goff. I think he's in that Kirk Cousins tier.
They said they're looking at bringing Goff back. So
I think you should bring. Who you gonna get? Who else you gonna get? He's got you to the Super Bowl.
It's not too many.
It's not too many you can get.
He got you to the playoffs. So
he got you to the.
He was playing good too. Like I said, I feel like the Lions lost that game more than the 49ers won it. So it's just I bring Goff back. He was playing really good in the playoffs. It's just the coach need to make better calls. You got to take the points against the 49ers. You got to take, even though 3 points is not guaranteed, you got to at least try.
You got to.
You got to try to take whatever point you can.
A monster team, a Titan team like that, you got to.
They lost by 3. So you needed some points. You needed those 3 points.
Look, I think Jared Goff, he's definitely above average. You're not going to get much better than Jared Goff, I think. So I think you bring him back and you get some pieces around him. You have Amon-Ra. He's cold.
Brown,
he's cold.
He's nice.
He is nice.
I just feel like the Lions, they got a good team.
They got that rookie running back.
They drafted good, and they did good. Gibbs looked good. Montgomery looked good from the Bears.
Yep.
And they got a young team, man. They drafted good on the defense side, so I feel like they got a bright future. They're gonna be back.
Defense is Hutchinson on defense.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a beast.
I wish my Giants would have picked him. but we didn't pick him, man.
Hey, he nice though. I like Detroit.
Nice.
Detroit. All these teams that were laughing stocks now going to the plate.
But I will say Hutchinson wasn't a factor in that game.
He was not a factor.
I don't know if it's because they were double teaming him or what, but he couldn't get to the quarterback.
He couldn't.
But like I said, they shot themselves in the foot anyway.
They did. He did play. He played decent in those.
I think they're gonna be back. They coach said they might not get back, but I think they're gonna get back.
They definitely gonna get back.
They look good, and they only gonna get better.
And even if they don't, like from the past years, they was a laughingstock team. Now they actually.
Teams are actually gonna respect them now.
Yeah,
so
they're respected. Same thing with the Texans.
They're not gonna be an easy win on the schedule no more. So I think the Lions' future is bright. So what you feel about the Buccaneers? This was supposed to be a rebuilding year, and they sneaked into the playoffs, man.
I mean,
do you think Baker deserves another contract? They said both sides are looking at it, but do you take the gamble on Baker, or do you try to get something free agency? It's not gonna be much in free agency other than Kirk Cousins.
I think you roll with Baker. I mean,
Baker,
I'm a Baker. I'm not really sold on Baker still. But I feel like he gets the job done. He got the job done for the Buccaneers. I mean, he was just enough. He was just enough.
Once them quarterbacks get that money, man, they always play. They don't.
It's gonna be different. It's gonna be different. You don't have to see.
I think Baker, he did solid, man. I don't think he's gonna do as good as he did this year, next year, but I think it's in him, man. When he had that small stint with the Rams, I feel like he did all right. You know, he looked okay. And then the Bucs took a chance on him, and I think he did solid, man.
He looked solid. Baker. One thing about Baker, he plays with that charisma. I feel like he gets his team riled up.
This is the thing about the Bucs. Even though it's supposed to be a rebuilding year because Brady left, they had all the weapons. They just need somebody that could get the ball there.
Get the ball to
and
their
Baker
weapons.
is above average, so I knew they was gonna have a solid year. I knew it wasn't gonna be like they was getting blown out because Baker can make throws. And I mean, he got Mike Evans. Come on, man.
You just throwing the ball.
Mike Evans is a guaranteed 1,000 yards.
Right. He's Mr. Consistent. He's the Frank Gore wide receivers.
Godwin, like he got weapons. So it's just like, I mean, I knew they weren't gonna suck, but I don't know, man. I just don't trust Baker, man.
I guess we're gonna have to see, like, when he gets the money, is he gonna perform the same?
But I mean, it's not much else out there. So
you really don't have. Kirk Cousins, but it's like, are you really gonna do that much better with Kirk Cousins than Baker Mayfield?
Kirk Cousins asking for 40.
You're not getting that.
$40 million.
You're not getting that, Kurt. I'm sorry, Captain Kirk.
Well, no, matter of fact, he's asking for $60 million.
He's definitely not getting that.
But if you the Vikings, do you take a chance?
Bringing him back?
He wants $60 million, 2 years, all guaranteed.
Well, if you take a chance, I hope they don't plan on winning any games.
But I'm saying, without Kurt,
who they got?
If they pay Jefferson a big contract, Jefferson's gonna expect a quarterback to come in and feed him that ball.
And they can't do that because their money is gonna be tied to him. But if they bring Kirk back,
what I'm saying is they might not have a choice because they got what's the other option? Josh Dobbs. Come on, man.
Mr. Astronaut, Mr. NASA.
Come on, man. They benched him. They made him fourth string.
They got
and then they had the rookie.
The rookie that got hurt.
He was hurt. He injury prone. And then they had Mullins. Come on, man. I mean, it ain't much out there.
It's not much.
I mean, they might have to pay him.
They might have to, but I mean, you just
he probably won't be able to get 60 because they still got to pay Jefferson. But they gonna have to give him at least 40. Because I mean, unless they trade for somebody, because the Vikings feel like they contenders.
Who they got to trade?
Excuse me. The Vikings feel like they contenders.
They're not contenders.
But they feel like they contenders. And teams that feel like they contenders, they overspend.
They do.
So
you got to keep Jefferson.
I think we're going to see Captain Kirk back with the Vikings. Because if not, it's going to be a horrible year. Ain't too many people out there to grab in free agency. Unless they draft good, unless they find a diamond in the rough in the draft.
Jefferson's going to be like, I want out.
They were saying Captain Kirk might go to them Falcons.
I mean, that team is
a good young team.
They just need someone.
They was in the playoff run to the end, man.
They just need. It's like the Bucs situation. They need someone that can get the ball to their playmakers.
I don't think Ritter's gonna be the answer, man.
Okay, he's a non-fact. I railed him off.
They got Heineke and they got
Ritter. If they get Captain Kirk, do you think the Falcons I'll go make a good run.
Hey, it's a lot of teams on paper that had looked good at the quarterback position that weren't good at the quarterback position. So I just feel like it's going to be a lot of teams looking for help.
But I mean, the Falcons, if you look at their offense, they're kind of stacked. I mean,
they're stacked, but they need a quarterback that can get the ball to their playmakers. The playmakers can't make plays if they ain't got the ball in their hand.
Yep.
So it's just like they got a new coach. Now, either they're going to have to draft a quarterback, trade for one, or sign one free agency, or they're going to have to run it back with Ritter.
For God's sakes, can we give Kyle Pitts the ball?
Kyle Pitts needs to ask for a trade.
He needs to. He is riding away.
He's getting wasted away. Because either way, the Falcons going to be a running team. So it's like he need to go to like a team that's going to air the ball out, man.
I mean,
he's too special of a talent, man.
Right,
I want to see him actually get
I want to
used.
see him get used, bro, so bad. He's so good.
They got Bijan, and it's just like they're going to run the ball. They're going to feed
use
him.
him.
I mean, if they would have used him more, they probably would have won more games. But that's why the coach got fired. That's why he's not a coach no more.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm excited to see what they do because I feel like that's a good team, man.
That's a good team on paper. You got Drake London out there.
I feel like that's a good young team, man.
That is a good young team.
They one quarterback away, man. Like a lot of these teams.
Like a lot of these teams, man.
Talking about meltdowns, what about the Jaguars, man?
Trevor, man, I can't keep defending him, man.
Is he? I mean,
I can't keep defending him, man.
Is he like upper echelon or is he average, man? Is he just a little bit above average now? Is he Is he that generational talent, or you feel like he's just a solid quarterback?
I mean, we given him so many years. So his rookie year, I ain't gonna hold that against him. There was nothing he could do there. That second year, there was not much he could do. But I mean, he got the weapons. The coaching, I mean, we already see the coaching really wasn't even that, but it was solid. I mean,
Doug Peterson is a great coach, man.
That's
Super Bowl winning coach.
That's what I said. So now, Trevor, he has some flashes where I see that generational talent, but I don't know, man. Is it consistency? Is it just?
I'm sorry to say this. I can't defend him no more.
I can't defend him no more, man.
I don't think he's ever gonna reach that hype that they gave him.
I mean, he was cold at Clemson.
I feel like he's gonna be a good quarterback, but he's just not gonna be as good as everybody thought.
Okay. I agree, because I can't keep defending him. I mean, he's turning the ball over. He's not making the pass.
I don't know if it's a mental thing or I don't know what it is, but it's like he's scared to throw the ball down the field. He barely throws the ball over 40 yards.
It's because his playmakers around him, they melted down. Ridley was non-existent at the end of the season.
Beginning of the season really looked
real good. They all look good, but then they all fell off a cliff. What happened to Christian Kirk?
Christian Kirk got hurt.
And then came back non-factor.
I mean, it's hard to come back.
It's hard to come back. But then Ridley started Butterfingers. He started putting butter. He's looking like Jerry Judy out there. He's dropping everything.
I think Trevor be in his head, man. He don't be trusting his arm so he don't throw the ball down the field, man.
He got the arm.
When he throws down the field, be getting intercepted, man.
I can't keep defending you, Trevor, man. I've been defending you since you came. And a lot of people say, when you come from just winning so much and you come to an organization that is not used to winning, it does something to your mental. He's so used to winning that Clemson, he was the GOAT. I mean,
he was nice at Clemson.
He was nice. You come from a winning environment to you getting drafted to a toxic wasteland of just desolate land.
But the Jags are good now, though.
They are, though.
So he should be able to
win,
carry this team.
He should be able to.
Because some of the games I'm watching, he's missing throws. He's, overthrown or underthrown. He's throwing the ball out of bounds when he's not wanting to.
Yep.
So I think he just needs to refine his tools.
I think that whole team needs to refine because we also saw Etienne. He fell off a cliff.
I mean, he started out high, too. I had him in fantasy. I'm like, man, he going off every week, and then it was just nothing.
He fell off a cliff. Like I said, Ridley, I don't know what happened. He just forgot.
That's why I said the Chiefs are so amazing to me because in the NFL, it's so hard to win and actually get to the Super Bowl. So for them to do it like that, back to back, that's a good team.
Look, I'm gonna tell you why. It's because they said Kadarius Toney was hurt. They faked the injury, didn't let him play because he sucks.
Tony sucks.
That's why. If they had him in the game, they probably would have lost.
He needs to stop saying he's a number one.
He's a number 5.
He's barely a gadget player. He's good. He's good on kickoff return or punt return. He's good in the slide. He might be solid in like the slide, but he ain't even showed me he can do good in the slide. Even when he's in the slide, he's still dropping balls. So it's just like, Tony, you just gonna accept that you just like Mikael Hartman. Y'all both like the same player. Like him and Hardman both like gadget players. Like they can't even run
Barely
routes.
gadget players.
Cause Hardman, I mean, he went back to the Chiefs and he gone to the Super Bowl, but bruh don't do nothing. Like he's a receiver, but he don't even play like a receiver.
He don't do nothing, bro.
He just be out there for a decoy. They sent him on decoys.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's crazy cause like the Chiefs, you know they going to Kels.
But you can't stop it.
You can't
You
stop
just
it.
can't stop it. You really just can't
like
stop it.
They
bro.
really use everybody else as decoys, except for the rookie.
You can't stop
The
it.
rookie Rice, he actually gonna be solid, but all them other dudes are just decoys.
They're never giving the ball to them.
And they're throwing the ball to Kels.
The ball is never going to those other players. It's always going to Kels, and you can't stop
It's
it.
like the Ravens couldn't stop. You knew the ball was going to Travis, and you just couldn't stop
Couldn't
it.
stop it, bro.
I don't understand it. Like
It's the play call. Hey, the Chiefs, man, they the
if
Warriors,
you watch
man.
it do be play calling because they set picks and stuff, but it's illegal to do it. But they do it so smooth, you don't really be seen. The refs can't call it because it's like they be running, but they be blocking the player. So Kels be wide open. You be wondering like, dang, how you get so wide open? They done ran a little
They
pick.
ran a little pick. You done collided with the decoy.
But they make it look good.
Yep.
So like they can't call it. So it's just like you gotta get good at stuff like that, man. That's where teams they don't be doing the small stuff like that. Teams don't be doing that. The Chiefs do all that small stuff good. They sell the stuff good. Like Mahomes, every time he get touched, he falling out. He falling to the ground. They throwing flags. The roughing the passer. Like, bro, he barely got touched. He's selling it. You know, I hate it, but they play the game how they got played to win. So
They winners. They got winning culture
they
over
definitely
there.
winners. So that's why I said you can't bet against the Chiefs, man. But my boy Trevor, I'm gonna give him one more year, man.
He got one more year, man.
I'm gonna give him
One
one
more year. If he can't get it done, he is.
If he looked like he did this year again toward the end, where he was just looking like a shell himself, he's just gonna be stuck in that good category. Not
Damn,
great.
Trevor.
Not great. They gotta stop overhyping these quarterbacks, man.
I mean, he was
and
cold
then,
though.
And then our expectations be through the roof.
I mean, he was cold though. It was
cold.
warranted. He was cold.
But they got blown out that last national championship they made it to.
They
so
did.
it's like he came off a big loss, and he went to the Jags, a losing franchise with a toxic coach at the time. So
Yep.
it's just like I'm gonna give him one more year to try to get over that mental hump because I think it's just mental.
It's mental, bro.
And then we're gonna see, or he might do an Andrew Luck and retire. Early.
He might just retire. But I also need that whole offense to just lock in. I need Ridley to be Ridley. We know he can be.
It's gonna be Ridley year number 2 with the Jaguars, so he'll probably look better. Him and Trevor didn't really have that chemistry
They
yet.
didn't.
So now this year they should have that chemistry.
They're bringing Evan Ingram back.
Yeah, I think he signed a new deal.
New deal. So
He a nice tight end,
Yeah,
man.
he is.
We let him walk. We said
y'all
he was
did.
trash.
Yep. Y'all didn't use him.
We didn't use him.
Y'all
man.
didn't use him. Said he was trash.
Daniel Jones can't even throw the ball to him, man. That's some trash, man.
I don't even want to talk about my team. We're gonna leave that.
We're gonna leave the Panthers out of it.
We're gonna leave the
Yeah,
Panthers out of
man.
it. We're not gonna talk about.
I should have had C.J. Stroud, man.
He would have been at home watching the game. Would have been at home watching.
Oh,
if they took
man.
Bryce, if Houston had Bryce, they probably would have been in the same situation.
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't have mattered who'd y'all pick at quarterback. Y'all just ain't got the weapons yet.
Yeah, we have like I said, 40-year-old Adam Thielen. That's all we got. DJ Chark is a non-factor.
Hey,
He is after that last game, you dropped that ball in that end zone. Cut him. I don't want to see him back next year.
I mean, he probably won't be back next year. But
Good.
they gonna reload, man. Y'all gonna be good in a couple more years, man.
Been rebuilding since Cam left.
It's okay, man. Both our teams is in the dumps right now, but we'll be back, man. It's all good. So, I mean, anything else any other teams?
Nah, we just get ready for this Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, man. Hey, it was great being back with y'all, man. Tune in after the Super Bowl.
Thank
We'll
y'all for
probably
stopping
drop
by.
another episode. We might drop another episode this week. You never know. Just stay tuned, man.
Stay tuned.
Peace.
Peace out.